The man standing in the stands is the boss of this group of gladiators. He was determined to rely on his own strength to climb into the ranks of the powerful in Rome. He had just received his spot as a warrior and was announcing the news to all the gladiators excitedly. Gannicus, as a strong warrior, received cheers from the crowd. However, he is not happy because this opportunity did not come from gladiatorial combat. Batiatus also announced another news that Enomaus has become the new trainer in the training ground.
No longer to hold that name, no longer a gladiator. Now, and forevermore, to be revered as your doctore.
This has been wielded with pride by each before you since the time of my grandfather, bestowed on only the most loyal and honorable of men.
Gannicus, who used to always smile, now doesn't know how to face his brothers. Enomaus, who had always wanted to return to the arena, unexpectedly became a trainer. He can only accept this new identity. Batiatus has been getting carried away ever since he got this spot. He even believes that his future achievements will far surpass those of his ancestors. Just when he was intimate with Lucretia and Gaia, Batiatus's father walked in. Seeing this scene in front of him, Titus was stunned for a moment and then calmly called Batiatus away. The reason Titus hurried back was because Salonius wrote him a letter. In the letter, Salonius accused Batiatus of recent absurd actions. Titus is cautious in his actions while Batiatus is eager for quick success and instant benefits. The way the father and son think always clash. So Titus harshly criticized Batiatus. He believes that rejecting Tullius's reasonable offer is a foolish act and will cause a lot of trouble with Tullius. Lucretia is very worried about Batiatus and has always been afraid of Titus, so she immediately arranged for someone to tidy up the house and warn Gaia to be cautious in her words and actions. But no matter how they tried to conceal it, it was useless. Titus showed no mercy in his harsh reprimand towards them. Batiatus signaled to her to endure it. Titus showed no mercy towards Gaia either. Even if Gaia's methods were clever, they had no effect in front of Titus. After dealing with the family affairs, Titus immediately went to the training ground to visit the gladiators. Unlike Batiatus, he went straight to the dungeon. Titus holds great weight in the hearts of the gladiators, and they all respect him. He sincerely congratulated Enomaus on becoming the new trainer. Titus is very affectionate and has no concept of class. He and Enomaus eat and drink together in the dungeon, not caring about Enomaus' slave status. They chat like friends. Titus praised Enomaus' achievements. He told Enomaus that he didn't lose in the fight against Shadow of Death. In the showdown with Shadow of Death, the only surviving gladiator is a victory in itself. Enomaus expressed his thoughts. He said he doesn't want to be a trainer, he still wishes to fight in the arena as before. Titus believes that Enomaus is the best candidate for the trainer. If he doesn't become a trainer, no one else can take on this important role. And when he becomes a coach, he doesn't have to fight in the arena, he can live a stable life. This will also make his wife Melita feel more secure. Finally, Enomaus accepted his new mission calmly. In the early morning, Titus watches the gladiators training from the stands. He is deeply loved by everyone. The gladiators have been training for a long time, but Gannicus lazily comes out with a bottle of wine to train. Batiatus had just gotten up at this time, and Titus was very disappointed with this. He used to have strict requirements for the training ground, but now it is becoming disorganized. Titus doesn't have a high opinion of Gannicus. He believes that someone as lazy as Gannicus is not qualified to be an excellent gladiator. But Batiatus thinks differently. He sees Gannicus as a champion in the making. Titus directly points out that Gannicus is not the best choice for a champion. He plans to train several other gladiators. At the same time, Titus sees Crixus and criticizes Batiatus for spending money recklessly. He says Crixus is not worth that much money. Then Titus takes Batiatus out to meet with Tullius. The purpose is to apologize to Tullius and ease the relationship. They exchange a few pleasantries, and Tullius implies that he knows Vettius was set up by Batiatus. His goal is to take away the position of the champion gladiator. After hearing this, Titus questions Batiatus. At this time, Batiatus looks very aggrieved. Batiatus quickly exonerates himself in a few words. Titus knows Batiatus's character and, in a fit of anger, drives Batiatus away. To settle things down, Titus ultimately gives the position of the champion gladiator to Vettius. At this time, Batiatus's plans are disrupted by his father's return. He complains to his wife. His father's return means that his career will be stalled. First, he gives up the position of the champion gladiator to Vettius and asks Batiatus to apologize to Varus, falsely claiming that Gannicus is injured and cannot participate in the main god festival's competition. Although Batiatus's family does not have the position of the champion gladiator, they can choose other gladiators to compete. However, the requirement is for their own gladiators to compete against each other, and the selection is arranged by Tullius. Crixus is among them. Batiatus is very angry. He has worked so hard, but after his father returns, everything goes back to square one. But he cannot change Titus's decision. Titus tells him that all of this is the price paid for Batiatus's scheming with powerful people. Gaia and Lucretia are watching the gladiator training at this time. At this time, the maid Naedia brings news that there is an important guest visiting. Varus visited again, this time with a person named Crixus. Crixus came for Batiatus's performance and appeared impatient. Lucretia informed them that Batiatus was not home and suggested they watch the gladiator training instead. However, they showed no interest in the training. Varus used the position of the champion gladiator to blackmail Lucretia. Unable to refuse, Lucretia made arrangements. To add some novelty, Lucretia had Crixus choose between two maids, Naedia and Diana, which satisfied Crixus's twisted desires. He selected Diana, who suffered greatly and was physically and mentally harmed. During this process, Gaia tried to seduce Varus, but it had no effect as he outright rejected her. The reason was that Gaia had no dowry, no status, and was not a noble, which did not meet his wife's standards. However, Lucretia's hospitality still made them happy.
Your house has not been exaggerated.
Although Ashur and a few others got the gladiator markings, they did not gain recognition from other gladiators. They were often tortured by the Barca, who believed that gladiator marks obtained without combat were invalid. Barca and Acadius raised many birds together. In order to retaliate against Barca, Ashur ate their bird. Barca found Ashur and they got into a big fight. Eventually, the training ground was in chaos and Enomaus couldn't stop it. Titus and Batiatus came back and saw the scene, immediately stopping the internal fighting. Titus was very angry. When he managed the training ground, there had never been a situation where gladiators fought each other. Afterwards, Titus announced the contestants, including Crixus fighting Acadius. Crixus is not a real gladiator, but he can participate because of Tullius' demand. Clearly, Tullius wants Crixus to die in the arena, and Gannicus was depressed because he lost the qualification to fight. He felt this was his punishment for betraying his brother. Crixus is excited to be able to participate in the duel because he has always taken training seriously. Enomaus and Gannicus both believe in Crixus and also give him some advice. Gannicus feels guilty about Enomaus, so he often avoids him. The battle horn sounds, and Batiatus personally comes to encourage Crixus in order to prove himself to his father. He told Crixus that he has a champion lineage and asked him to prove his worth. Crixus felt a surge of fighting spirit. Crixus embarked on his first duel in life. In the end, he defeated Acadius, but accidentally killed him by not controlling his strength. It was the first time Crixus received applause from the audience. Barca was deeply saddened by the already tragic death of Acadius. Back at the training ground, Crixus recited his oath in front of everyone and branded himself. He finally became a true gladiator. This battle also gained Batiatus the approval of his father. He felt that Batiatus giving up conspiracies and tricks could become a qualified entrepreneur. Perhaps Batiatus could really revitalize the family. Afterwards, he told Batiatus that he decided not to leave. He wanted to stay in Capua and manage the training ground together with Batiatus. Batiatus was shocked. Since Titus returned, Lucretia and Gaia have also been cautious and not acting recklessly. They are strolling around the market. After being rejected by Varus, Gaia began looking for new targets. It was at this moment that they encountered Petronius on the road. Petronius is a wealthy and influential Roman. Gaia approached and struck up a conversation with Petronius. She introduced Lucretia next to her. Unexpectedly, Petronius was more interested in Lucretia. Batiatus Elysium has become famous all over the world. Lucretia felt embarrassed after hearing this. She didn't expect him to openly talk about this. Lucretia worried that this matter would reach Titus's ears. Gaia, on the other hand, didn't care and didn't think there was anything dishonorable about it. Instead, she thought their publicity was well done. Batiatus happened to return during their conversation. Gaia told Batiatus about Petronius's demands. After considering it, Batiatus decided to fulfill Petronius's request in order to secure a place in the new arena. In order to prevent his father from knowing about this, Batiatus told Titus that a group of high-quality slaves had arrived in Neapolis. He wanted to go with him to select gladiators. Titus was convinced by Batiatus and decided to leave that day. Lucretia began preparations to welcome the guests. Before leaving, Lucretia was worried that something unexpected might happen during the gathering and that she wouldn't be able to control the situation. Batiatus asked for Salonius's help, but Lucretia still worried. For the sake of Batiatus's career, she could only set aside her concerns. The hall was extravagantly and luxuriously decorated, and the nobles enjoyed the pleasures of feasting and revelry. At this time, Tullius arrived uninvited and then began making various unreasonable requests. Lucretia didn't dare to offend him and Tullius challenged Gannicus in front of everyone. He knew that Gannicus wouldn't fight back, so he kept pressuring him. If Gannicus embarrassed Tullius, his life would be in danger. So he had no choice but to keep dodging and not fight back. But Tullius insisted on killing Gannicus. In front of everyone's eyes, Gannicus, who never admitted defeat, was ultimately defeated by reality. He raised 2 fingers to surrender, but Tullius, ignoring the rules of the gladiators, was still preparing to attack.
The man gives the missio. The match is yours.
God of the arena. Saved by a woman.
Then she asked Melita to take Gannicus down for treatment. When they were treating their injuries in the training field, Gannicus couldn't help but express his feelings to Melita. It turns out that since what happened last time, he has a different feeling towards Melita. In order to ease the relationship between Tullius and the Batiatus family, Gaia took Tullius to a room in the back hall of the mansion. Watching Gaia's figure leave, Lucretia was very moved. After the banquet, the dignitaries gradually left. Before leaving, Petronius promised to discuss the settlement of the new arena with Batiatus. Then Lucretia went to find Gaia. Unexpectedly, Gaia was killed by Tullius. When the father and son heard the news, they quickly rushed back, and Titus quickly understood the whole story and became extremely angry.
You helped set this in motion, and now claim innocence in the outcome.
I claim vengeance. His life for hers. I will see.